These are 13 gas station brands selling fuel that creates 19 times more engine deposits than the competition, and most Americans have no idea they're filling up at one of them right now. Today I'm breaking down exactly which gas stations are slowly gunking up your engine, which ones actually clean it while you drive, and why car manufacturers themselves had to step in and create their own fuel standard because the government minimum wasn't cutting it. This has nothing to do with premium versus regular. This is about something completely different that almost nobody talks about. Let's get into it. Back in 2004, four major automakers sat down together because they had a problem on their hands. Toyota, Honda, BMW, and General Motors were all seeing the same thing showing up in their service departments, with engines building up deposits on intake valves and fuel injectors way faster than expected. Gasoline turned out to be the culprit. The EPA had set a minimum standard for detergent additives back in 1996, and every gas station in America had to meet that baseline. What happened next shouldn't surprise anyone who understands how businesses work. A lot of fuel companies looked at that minimum requirement and decided it was good enough, so they reduced their detergent levels to meet the legal floor and pocket the savings on additives. Automakers watched this happen and realized their customers' engines were paying the price, which led them to do something about it. They created their own fuel quality standard called Top Tier, requiring significantly more detergent additives than the government minimum. And this is where things get interesting. AAA ran an independent study in 2016, and what they found shocked people across the industry. After simulating about 4,000 miles of driving, non-top tier gasoline left an average of 660 milligrams of deposits on each intake valve, while top-tier gasoline left just 34 milligrams. 19 times more buildup from the cheaper stuff. Same car, same driving conditions. And the only difference was where the gas came from. Before I give you the list of gas stations to avoid, I need to clear up the biggest misconception floating around this entire topic, because I guarantee some of you are already confused. Top tier is not the same as premium gasoline. These are two completely different things. Premium refers to the octane rating, which is that number you see on the pump like 87, 89, or 93. That measures how resistant the fuel is to knocking in high-compression engines. If your car takes regular, premium does nothing extra for you. Top tier refers to the detergent additive package mixed into the fuel, and it has nothing to do with octane whatsoever. Here's why this distinction matters so much. When a gas station earns top-tier certification, all of their grades have to meet the standard, meaning their regular 87 octane, their mid-grade, and their premium all contain those higher detergent levels. But if you buy premium from a gas station that isn't top-tier certified, you're paying extra money for higher octane, but you're still getting the lower quality detergent package. You're not getting the cleaning benefits. So buying premium from the wrong gas station is basically paying more money for fuel that still gunks up your engine. Meanwhile, buying regular from the right gas station gives you the cleaning benefits at a lower price. This is the detail that trips up almost everybody. Octane and detergent quality are separate specifications. Don't confuse them. Alright, here's the list you came for. These 13 gas station brands lack top-tier certification as of the time of this video, which means they're using minimum legal detergent levels that create significantly more engine deposits over time. Number 1 is BP. And this one surprises a lot of people, because BP used to be on the top-tier list. They actually left the program back in late 2021. They claim their Invigorate additive still meets or exceeds top-tier standards, but they chose not to pay the licensing fees anymore. So they're no longer independently verified. Number 2 is Amoco. Amoco is owned by BP, so when BP dropped out of the program, Amoco went with them. Number 3 is Circle K. This is a big one because Circle K has over 6,000 locations across the country. They used to be top-tier certified, but they've since dropped off the list. Number 4 is 7-Eleven. With over 9,000 locations, 7-Eleven is one of the most common gas stations in America, and they've never been top-tier certified. Number 5 is Speedway. Speedway was acquired by 7-Eleven back in 2021 for $21 billion, and like their parent company, they're not on the top-tier list. Number 6 is Wawa. Now Wawa has a great reputation for their convenience stores and their hoagies, but their fuel has never achieved top-tier certification. What's interesting is that Wawa actually sources fuel from top-tier suppliers, but the brand itself isn't universally certified. Number 7 is Buc-ee's. If you've ever driven through Texas, you know Buc-ee's is famous for their massive stores and clean bathrooms. But when it comes to fuel quality, they're not participating in the top-tier program. Number 8 is Love's Travel Stops. This is one of the major truck stop chains with over 600 locations, and they're not top-tier certified. Number 9 is Pilot Flying J, another major truck stop brand with around 750 locations. Not on the list. Number 10 is Murphy USA. You'll find these gas stations in the parking lots of Walmart stores across the country. Over 1,500 locations, and none of them are top-tier certified. Number 11 is Sam's Club. Owned by Walmart just like Murphy USA, and same story, not top-tier. Number 12 is Sheetz. This is a popular mid-Atlantic convenience store chain with over 600 locations. Great food, but their fuel isn't top-tier certified. And number 13 is Casey's General Stores. This Midwest chain has over 2,500 locations, making it one of the largest convenience store chains in the country. But they're not on the top-tier list. Now, I want to be clear about something. I'm not saying the fuel from these stations is going to destroy your engine overnight. It meets all legal requirements. But over time, the lower detergent levels mean more deposits building up on your intake valves and fuel injectors. And that buildup can cause real problems down the road. What kind of problems exactly? And how do they show up in your driving experience? Your fuel injectors function as precision instruments, spraying a fine mist of fuel into your engine thousands of times per minute. When deposits build up on those injector tips, the spray pattern gets distorted, and instead of a fine mist, you get an uneven dribble that wastes fuel, reduces power, and makes your engine run rougher. Intake valves suffer from the same problem. In traditional engines, fuel passes over these valves on its way into the combustion chamber, and when carbon deposits build up on them, airflow and fuel delivery get disrupted. Rough idling starts showing up, hesitation kicks in when you accelerate, and your engine just feels tired overall. Here's the frustrating part about all of this. Getting these deposits cleaned out costs real money. A standard carbon cleaning service runs anywhere from $200 to $600, while trucks, SUVs, and luxury vehicles can hit $600 to $1,200 or more. Some German cars like BMW, Audi, and Volkswagen require a specialized procedure called walnut blasting, which can set you back $1,500 to $3,500. Being more careful about where you fill up could help you avoid all of this. Now, some of you might be wondering about that claim that all gasoline comes from the same refineries anyway, and how different the fuel can really be between stations. This turns out to be partially true and partially misleading. Base gasoline stays largely the same across brands because fuel flows through shared pipeline systems across the country, and at major distribution terminals, fuel from different refineries often gets stored in common tanks. The base fuel functions as a commodity meeting minimum EPA standards. The difference happens at a place called the rack, which is where tanker trucks pull up to fill and deliver fuel to gas stations. A computer-controlled injection system adds each brand's proprietary additive package right there at the terminal. Chevron adds Techron, Shell adds their V-Power formula, and Exxon and Mobil add their Synergy additives. These additive packages make up less than 1% of the total fuel volume, but they create measurable differences in how your engine performs over time. Non-top-tier brands either add minimal additives or use cheaper formulations, and that's why the AAA study showed 19 times more deposits from non-top-tier fuel. Same base gasoline, different additive packages, dramatically different results in your engine. Now let's flip to the gas stations that actually help clean your engine while you drive. Costco might surprise you as the first recommendation because their Kirkland Signature gasoline carries top-tier certification while often being the cheapest gas in town. You get premium quality fuel at discount prices. Money expert Clark Howard has pointed this out, noting that many of the nation's giants of gas discounting sell top-tier gasoline, including Costco and QuickTrip. Chevron's Techron additive has become something of an industry benchmark for fuel detergency. And when mechanics and engineers talk about quality fuel additives, Techron usually enters the conversation. Shell's V-Power Nitro Plus formula gets heavily marketed, and they claim it exceeds top-tier standards, with a Ferrari partnership on fuel development that speaks to the engineering behind their additive package. Exxon and Mobil operate under the same parent company, and both use the Synergy additive package, which according to Exxon includes 9 different additives covering friction modification, corrosion inhibition, and multiple detergents. Other top-tier options include QuickTrip, Phillips 66, Marathon, Valero, Sinclair, Sunoco, Texaco, Arco, Conoco, 76, and Sicko. Over 100,000 licensed top-tier stations operate across North America as of 2024, with more than 80 brands participating. So what do the car companies themselves say about all this? Toyota's owner's manual states directly, and I'm paraphrasing here, that Toyota strongly recommends the use of top-tier detergent gasoline and even provides the website where you can find certified stations. Honda says they endorse the use of top-tier detergent gasoline right in their owner's manuals. General Motors tells their customers to look for gasoline advertised as top-tier to help keep fuel injectors and intake valves clean. They even add that for customers who don't use top-tier regularly, adding a bottle of GM fuel system treatment at every oil change can help clean deposits. BMW's manual recommends purchasing gasoline from top-tier retailers to avoid harmful engine deposits. This isn't some marketing gimmick invented by gas companies. The automakers themselves, the people who designed and built your engine, are telling you this matters. Greg Brannon, AAA's Managing Director of Automotive Engineering, shared his reaction after their study came out. He admitted AAA was surprised to learn the extent to which detergent additives impact gasoline quality, noting that as advertised, tested top-tier gasolines kept engines remarkably cleaner than other fuels they tested. He also offered something that should give hope to anyone who's been using non-top-tier fuel for years. Americans can reverse some engine deposits simply by switching gasoline brands, he explained, and after a few thousand miles with top-tier gasoline, performance issues like rough idling or hesitation during acceleration can often be resolved. Industry research backs this up, showing that using top-tier fuel for about 5,000 miles can reduce existing intake valve deposits by 45 to 72%. Damage from lower quality fuel isn't necessarily permanent, and your engine can recover. Let's address the cost question directly, because this is where most people expect to hear bad news. AAA analyzed gas prices over a 12-month period and found the average difference came to just 3 cents per gallon. Running the math on that, if you drive 12,000 miles a year and your car gets 30 miles per gallon, you're burning about 400 gallons of fuel annually. 3 cents more per gallon adds up to $12 a year. $12 a year for fuel that creates 19 times less engine deposits. $12 a year versus a potential carbon cleaning bill of $600 or more down the road. Discount top-tier stations like Costco and QuickTrip often price their fuel cheaper than non-top-tier branded stations anyway, so you might not pay any premium at all. I do want to mention one important caveat about the AAA study. Their testing was done on a Ford 2.3-liter port fuel injected engine. In that type of engine, fuel sprays over the intake valves before entering the combustion chamber, which is how the detergent additives clean those valves. But many modern cars use something called gasoline direct injection, or GDI. In GDI engines, fuel sprays directly into the combustion chamber, bypassing the intake valves entirely. This means the detergent additives in your gasoline, even top-tier gasoline, can't clean GDI intake valves because fuel never touches them. This is actually a known issue with GDI engines, and it's why the top-tier program announced in late 2024 that they're releasing a new standard called Top Tier Plus, specifically designed for GDI engines. That standard rolled out in January 2025. So if you have a GDI engine, top-tier fuel is still beneficial. State inspectors across the country regularly find violations at gas stations. Michigan receives over 1,000 complaints annually about fuel quality, Wisconsin issued over 4,600 corrective orders in 2023 alone. Common problems include water contamination, octane mislabeling, and mixing up different fuel grades. Just in January 2024, a Circle K in Charleston, South Carolina, had to shut down after selling water-contaminated diesel fuel. In Toledo, Ohio, a woman won a lawsuit after getting water-contaminated fuel from a gas station that cost her over $1,000 in repairs. This can happen at any gas station, top tier or not. But it's another reminder that where you buy your fuel matters. Sticking with established, well-maintained stations reduces your risk of getting contaminated fuel. So let me give you a quick action plan based on everything we've covered. First, find out which gas stations near you are top-tier certified. The official website is toptiergas.com, and they also released a mobile app in late 2024 that lets you search for certified stations near you. Second, don't confuse top tier with premium octane. Use whatever octane your car requires, but get it from a top-tier station when possible. Third, if you've been using non-top tier fuel for a long time, consider switching to top tier and giving it 5,000 miles or so. You might notice improvements in idle quality and throttle response as those deposits start to clear out. Fourth, if you drive a car with a GDI engine, understand that you may still need periodic intake valve cleanings regardless of fuel choice. The new Top Tier Plus standard addresses this, so look for that certification as it becomes available. And fifth, pay attention to the station itself. Avoid sketchy-looking gas stations with outdated equipment, and consider whether the station is busy. High-traffic stations turn over their fuel inventory faster, which means fresher fuel and less chance of contamination. Here's the bottom line. The 13 gas stations I listed today aren't doing anything illegal. They're meeting the government minimum. But when the car companies themselves create their own higher standard and recommend you use it, that tells you the government minimum isn't good enough. Protect your engine. Pay attention to where you fill up. That little bit of extra detergent in top-tier fuel is working hard every time you drive to keep your engine clean, and that matters a lot more than most people realize. If this video helped you understand your fuel choices better, hit that subscribe button. We put out contents focused on helping everyday drivers save money and take better care of their vehicles. Drop a comment and let me know. Did any of these gas stations on the list surprise you?